Episode 88. My guest is here. She's a servant of the people. And listen, before we get into it, y'all know the vibes. Sit back and enjoy the ride, and we'll be back.
Ooh, Rocky, I
I remember when I first started, on go like Monopoly boards. I need a place to park it. I used to always want to have a boat, but I always had the iron on me. Shoot, I always kept it toast. I used to always want the race car, but I always had my dogs, man, and that was who I needed most. You get the boot, you don't want the thimble. Little man on a horse, I was sport like a polo symbol. What you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front. It's like I need to be alone, I wanna be in my zone. Just like I need my contacts, but don't want a phone. I got them anywhere minutes, cause I love to roam. I tell her that it's open field, but I love the dome. She keeps screaming I'm a dog, cause I love the bone. She gon' make me growl at her all through the phone. How you miss me, you don't hit me up. You see me, girl, I'm still standing, I ain't ever duck. Listen up, what you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front. Every time neighbors say I wouldn't be nothing, I reply back that I'ma keep coming. I'm high right now, when I hit the ground, I'ma be running. They gon' make me have to book a T something, see something, gotta give, or forfeit for you to be something. So it's best that you don't wanna need, youngin'. The difference between something you dream and something that seen nothing but a bunch of people that be mean mugging. See, youngin', look, I've been in it a minute now. I started and I finished now. No more folding the dough that I'm holding. I think I'm gonna start me a business now. I'm worried about fitness now. My stomach ridiculous now. I get it, I flip it, I flips it. I think that I'm finished now. What you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front.
My brothers chose different rules, so we don't grind together. But if we was broke together, we gon' shine together. I played my part from the start, none of time is better. So my love for rhyming will have me up in my prime forever. I was chasing these dreams and never slowed up. Stood tall through it all and never fooled up. I just gymming for debit, saving lettuce and stacking these casseroles so the chickens gon' lick the cold cuts. This time around I gotta make them sick. Rappers passing the casting call, don't make the script. You just gotta close your eyes and you can visualize it. Have you nodding to these bars before you make the wish. Just praying this city won't be the death of me. Got a strap on scepter and it's stressing me. So that look that I'm giving, it's like telepathy. A warning or a blessing, whatever, but ain't no testing me. But Zana pull his tech on you need be like he ain't earning stripes like a referee in the D-League. Big whistle round the neck, hanging by the ropes. Make that blood splatter, leave you shatter like kaleidoscopes. Fully automatic, my words hurt. Worse than a chick with a broken heart from her slurs. That's my word, I make words curve. So third verse, metaphors and similes is wavy, so the verbs surf. Them hammers holding rounds of applause, so give it up. Ain't got worried about me sounding it off. We talking down to the law while we handing them off. My middle finger to the sky, my other hand on my ball. It's like that. Believe they coming right back. If I rap about the truth, your favorite rapper might rap. So it's past story and baiting to my expiration. I'm dreaming about the penthouses, but I rap the basement. Chiz told me that they tired of the old thing. Turn over and over, made our own lane. Stay true to my living like expensive denims. Cause I believe in my team, my music is religion. And when you really love rapping, brother, it ain't nothing. Killing them with wordplay, and this is just my introduction. Stay down, better hashtag it. That's the motto for this summer. I'm finally out my slumber like that.
V-Ray's going too hard though. Don't cry.
music, but who else will be able to do this? I just wait on God and let him use me. When faith get low and trust get hard, don't cry, wait on God, on God, on God, on God.
Don't cry, dry your eyes till we on God. When faith is low and trust is hard till we on God. Made up my mind that I can't be outside his will. That I'ma do nothing but trust him despite how I feel. When your emotions don't change your confession, it's real. You gotta keep your faith strong. That's the simplest I know. Guard what you look at and what you let between your ears. God good, his showers of comfort outweigh all your stress. It's true, I had to share this good news to all my peers. Your timing, not his timing, and the spirit I heard him say it. If he didn't do it, no, it's not because it couldn't be done. You just weren't mature enough to handle it. And he ain't just gonna bless anyone. Wait on God. Don't cry, dry your eyes till we on God. When faith is low and trust is hard till we on God.
All right, folks, we are here. I have my guest. She is a police officer. She serves the community, and she is here today. So without further ado, I give you Katrina Curry. Officer, are you there?
I'm
Mrs.
here.
Officer.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Welcome to the podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So I like to give my guests a formal introduction themselves. So introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are, the city you represent, and protect.
I am Officer Simmons, and I am here in Houston, Texas.
Hey, all
H-Town,
right.
baby.
H-Town, H-Town. Y'all heard her. H-Town. So tell the people a bit about how you became an officer and how you got interested in protecting the city.
I had been actually interested in becoming an officer. It wasn't until a few years ago that I decided to go ahead and get into the academy. So that's what I did. You know, I see a lot of people who are always talking about the law enforcement, this and cops that and blah, blah, blah. But until you get in it to make a difference, you're really just talking. So I decided to get in it.
Oh, that's cool. So being an officer has its ups and downs, right? Like you just said, you hear things about law enforcement, how things are.
hmm
So what was your initial thoughts going into it, being in the academy? And like, what was your first initial thoughts?
As far as making the decision to go into it,
Yes.
I was ready to go. You know, I didn't know exactly what I would be walking into, but you know, the type of person I am, I'm in it to see. I'm not scared. So I'm always gonna be me, period point blank. I never took a lot of mess from nobody, no matter what they
Right.
look like. So I mean, like I said, I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, but I was willing to go in and find out.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you have a presence on TikTok. They love you on TikTok. And this is how I came across you on TikTok. You know, I followed you. I've been seeing your account. You like to talk to the people and
Yeah.
you engage.
Yeah.
How did that come about for you to want to connect with the people through social media?
I think my general personality is I'm a people's person anyway. You know, I'm to myself, but I'm also I like to engage with people. So, you know, I don't have too many interactions on Facebook too much longer, but you know, I started going on TikTok. First, it was Facebook a lot. So I had a lot of interactions with people on Facebook before I became an officer. And just laugh, talk, tell jokes. I don't know. People think I'm funny a little bit sometimes. So, you know, and I just like to talk to people. I'm a people's person, you know. And that's just part of my personality. So once I became an officer, you know, and I know how I personally felt before I became an officer. I felt that it was important to engage with people and just let them know that, you know, we are all human and we are all different, you know. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Um, some people become officers for the check. We got to
Hmm.
be real.
Yeah.
Not all, but some
Right.
of them, they become officers for the check.
Hmm.
Some do it because they were already in the service and they
Hmm.
came home and wanted to continue their service.
Right.
So were you already in Texas when you decided to become an officer?
Yeah, I've lived in Texas my whole life. So
Okay.
I've never took a residency anywhere else but here.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, and I guess yeah, some people do it for the check. I don't know. I'm not in their heads. I have no idea. I only can speak for myself, you know. So,
Right.
you know, but I'm sure there's a lot of different agendas that people have to do whatever it is that they're doing, you know, but that wasn't why I got into it. You
Oh,
might
that's
see me
awesome.
looking around, you know, I still got to be very observant while
Oh,
I'm sitting.
absolutely. She's
So,
on duty, folks. So
yeah.
she's an officer and she has to be on the prowl.
I got to watch what's going on around me, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So policing can be an incredibly stressful job. How do you
Mhm.
manage your mental health while working in such a demanding role?
Well, you know, I've always had this being with me since before I was born. And
Right.
so, you know, after growing up and becoming aware of who God was, He walks with me, He talks with me, He protects me,
Absolutely.
you know,
Amen.
so He calms me. And you know, I don't who gonna get past God? Nobody. So whatever
Nobody.
He allowed it. So I ain't tripping about none of that. You know, I know I'm covered.
Absolutely. So what are some like day-to-day things that you go through as an officer? Break that down a bit for those that might want to become an officer but
Mhm.
don't know the steps or what it entails. Tell the people a bit.
You know what? It varies. Some days are very calm days. Some days you get crazy stuff. You know, some days you have a mixture. You know, some days like today is easy, then boom, something else happened. You know, you on a let's go call. So it just varies. You never know, honestly, in this field, you never know what you're gonna get, you know. And
Yeah.
that's about the guff of it. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know, you know, a lot of different things go on in the world at different times. So if you're in my area and I just so happen to get that call, that crazy call, then I'm gonna go.
Oh, that's cool. So have
Hmm.
you had access to mental health resources or counseling services within your department?
For myself, for me personally, or for other people.
You and other people.
Yeah, they do provide that, you know, for us. They provide that for us if need be, and we have, you know, we have resources for people who are that have, you know, mental issues or you
How do you
know.
how do you feel about that for being available for you guys? Do you think it's necessary?
Oh yeah, I think it's necessary. I think it's honestly, I think it's not just necessary for police officers. I think it's necessary for all people that has to go through this life. This life is not easy. You know, this life is
Absolutely.
harder for others than it is for, you know, other people. So it just depends on what your walk of life is. And I think it's very important for everybody. I don't care how well you think you are. You know, everybody got issues. There is nobody that's breathing that don't have some type of issue. So I think it's important for everybody to get that mental health and be able to sit down and talk to somebody and hash out, you know, whatever is going with you psychologically, you know.
How do you cope with the trauma and stressful situations you encounter on the job?
Well, like I told you, I mean, I have this being that calms me, you know.
Amen.
So I can't say that I just get stressful on the job. Um, you know, I have grown spiritually, so I'm more calmer than I used to be. You know, things that that used to bother me, they don't bother me like that no more. So I can't say that I'm just stressed, you know, about anything that I might encounter. I can't say that I just get stressed about it.
Right.
You know, not on the job. You know, I think the only thing that would bother me is something with my children. But other than that,
Okay.
and that's growth. You
Oh,
know, I
so
still
you're a
have to
mom
grow.
as well. How many kids?
Oh yeah, I have 3 kids and a
Oh, that's
grandbaby.
awesome. I have 2 boys.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a brand new grandbaby as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. It's cool to know that life is still life, and as you protect the city, you know.
Oh yeah, life is still,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
absolutely. Life is
awesome.
definitely still life.
So, what impact do you believe the nature of police work has on an officer's mental health over time?
It depends on the person, you know. And again, as I said, it I can't say that I'll let anything just stress me out like that. You
Right.
know, it really depends on the individual, you know. It affects everybody differently. I can't again speak for everyone else. I haven't witnessed anybody, you know, none of my coworkers just tripping out about anything or just having any type of breakdown. I haven't personally witnessed anything like that. I mean, you know, we go through, you know, the normal deaths and stuff like that. And I had, as a matter of fact, I just had one of our dispatchers got shot and killed here recently.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Now that, you know what, that was pretty rough for me a little bit because he was a real cool guy. And the way he got out of here, I wouldn't he was only like 37. He had a wife and I
Mhm.
believe he had 2 daughters.
Mm.
And there was a young man that this was actually on the news. That was a young man who was his wife's nephew who actually unalived him.
Oh,
So I mean, that caught me off guard because he was. I mean, it's very hard to find genuine people. So many people got chips
absolutely.
on their shoulders. So many people are all about themselves. You know, so many people just think of themselves up here. But he was always jolly. He always spoke. He always kept the same energy, and he was just really cool. So that kind of caught me by surprise. I had to woo-saw because I wasn't ready. You know, I had to
Mm.
woo-saw, but you know, but I mean, everybody is pretty level headed over here where I am. So. I
Oh,
haven't
that's
witnessed
cool.
anything, you know, that just, you know, I think that just have people having a need, and you know what, and I can't talk about what's going on with people personally unless they've shared it
Absolutely.
with me. But everybody seems to be okay. Everybody seems to be okay.
Oh, that's great. So, what was growing up in Texas like?
Everything. H-Town. I wouldn't want to live nowhere else. I love my city. I love my city.
So, elaborate a bit. Tell the people, for those that never been to Houston, what it's like.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna sum it up in one word: hot.
I live in North
It's hot.
Carolina, so I can understand that.
You're where?
North Carolina,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but I'm
It's. I
from
mean,
Philly. I'm
okay,
from
but you.
Philly, so I'm used to winters. It's
Yeah,
barely cold down here, so
yeah.
the
And
summer is scorching.
that's Houston. It's not really. We don't really have winter. Like today, it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. I mean, I mean, it's if you stand out here long enough, you'll need a jacket. You know, but you have to stand out here. But it's
Yeah,
okay. The weather is pleasant. We don't get a lot of snow. We don't do the cold like that. We don't do the cold like that.
that's what's up.
So it's
That's
hot.
definitely what's up. Yeah, I haven't really had a coat since I left Philadelphia.
A coat?
Yeah, a coat.
Oh, a coat.
You
Yeah, we don't listen. We don't need to.
thought I said something else?
I thought you said a no, no, no. I thought you meant like a Coca-Cola or
Oh
soda.
yeah, yeah. I said a coat.
No, you don't need. You don't listen. You probably go through 5 or 6 freaking winters before you even need to pull out a coat. You really don't.
Absolutely.
You really don't need a. You really don't, unless you have, you have some type of iron deficiency where it's just cold to you because of
you're
your
anemic.
iron. Other than that, it's okay. It's pleasant.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what is your support like? Like, tell the people a bit about that. What is your support system like? Being an officer, going out there, putting your life on the line every day.
So, when you say support system, you mean as far as my family?
Yeah, whether it be family, friends, or
Mm.
whoever.
Well, my family is extremely supportive. Like I said, I have 3 babies. Well, my son, he's 27. My daughter she's 21, and my youngest baby just turned 17. So they're very supportive of me. I got nieces and nephews that are also supportive. They think it's pretty cool to have a auntie as a police officer. So I mean, they support me. I have a great support system. As far as work, I mean, they think it when you say Officer Simmons, you're gonna think she's off somewhere by herself. Because I'm not with the cliques. I mean, I'm cordial and I speak, and every now and then I may go eat with you, maybe. But I mean, we're pretty supportive of each other, though, honestly. Like, I feel like I work for a really good agency. I haven't, with the officers, there haven't been any type of discrimination, in my opinion. So they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool people.
So let me ask you this, and it's about the relationships with the Black community and police officers. What steps do you think law enforcement can take to build trust within the Black community?
The Black community with just officers, period?
Mm-hmm.
What you said, what officers can do?
Mm-hmm. What do you think law enforcement can what do you think law enforcement can take to build? What steps do you think you can take to build trust within the Black community? Because in the Black community, there is a stigma, don't talk to the cops.
It is.
And I can be real, I was raised that way too.
Yeah.
Through my whole entire life. I'm from the city of Philadelphia, so it goes down there.
Oh, I got you.
So what steps do you think law enforcement can take to build trust within the Black community?
You can do something just as minor as go live on your TikTok. You know what I mean? Social media is an awesome way to engage with, the community. And that's what I do, and that's the reason why I actually get on there, is to show people that we're just people. Like I said, everybody is different. I can't necessarily speak for everybody because everybody's different, no matter if you put on this uniform, if you put on a Walmart uniform, whatever. It's all about the individual that actually gets into their uniform, whatever that is. So for me, I think, when you engage with people, treat them like you would want them to treat your uncle. Treat them like you would want them to treat your brother or your mom if they, were to come in contact with them. And that's the way that I'm all about I'm all about fairness. Again, I can't speak for everybody else, but if I need to be stern, because you got ignorant people out here,
Right.
and, you can't be a pushover to people. So if I need to be stern, I know when and when not to I act accordingly, basically. You know what I mean? But if you're cool, I'm cool. And that goes even if I don't even have this uniform on. It's just a part of my character. And then, again, I just keep in mind, I engage people the same way I would want them to engage members of my family. I try to treat everybody with that same aspect.
How do you respond to concerns about racial profiling or discriminatory practices within the police force?
I don't agree with any of it. I can't say that I've necessarily, again, witnessed it with, any of my fellow officers. I don't know what goes on in people's mind, but I haven't experienced where people were getting treated unfairly. I wouldn't let it happen in front of me. Honestly, that's not what we're supposed to do legally, and we can't be reprimanded for that. So,
right.
Aside from just being reprimanded or whatever, and, morally and all that, that's just me. I'm not going to let anybody get handled unfairly. I can't, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. So, I think it's all ignorance, honestly. Like I said, everybody is different. You just never know what's going on in people's minds. But if I am present and it is going on, I will definitely be addressing it. So,
yeah, honestly, because you're an officer, I'm going to share an experience I had with an officer.
Okay. And I also allow them to do that too, like on my TikTok. I allow them to go live and I ask them, if anybody wants to get on and express, any engagement they may have had, whether it be good or bad with police officers. And I have quite a few people get on and they tell me some good ones, they tell me some bad ones. And, that's life. That's what it is. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Mhm.
You're my guest. So when you talk, I listen. So I had an experience of racial profiling in Philadelphia. And this was one of the reasons why I was happy to leave, to be honest. I don't get racially profiled in Lumberton, North Carolina.
Really?
At all. But in Philadelphia, it's happened to me my whole life. Actually, it is the reason I don't have a beard anymore.
Really?
Yes.
But that beard ain't gonna take away from your color.
That too. But in Philadelphia, everybody has a beard, a big beard.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So
you fit the description.
Right. So a lot of the times that has happened to me, and I had one really bad interaction to the point where I got locked up for just telling the cop to really investigate and do their job because I just got off the subway and you got the wrong person.
Yeah.
And they took me to jail anyway, found out it wasn't me. I didn't sue or anything, but it really dimmered my trust in police in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
So coming down here, I didn't know what to expect, but the police here are very friendly. They're very cordial with people. And they like to laugh and joke. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And everybody have different experiences. And the reason why people have different experiences is because you're dealing with different people. You know what I mean? You're dealing with different people.
Right.
Like I say, you have ignorance with everybody. You don't, and that racial bull crap that runs very, very deep. But it's not with everybody. It does appear to, and I get it. I get it being kind of cautious when you come across people that don't look like you because you don't know. And I don't think it's anything wrong with being cautious and kind of, so I get it. I get it 1,000%.
So in your experience, do you think the relationship between, the police and Black communities has changed over time?
Over time? Oh, yeah. I think it's changed over time. Absolutely. Because if you remember, man, we was treated horribly. I mean, in some instances, we're still treated horribly, but it's not as prevalent as it was back then, in my opinion. Because you can walk down the street and just because you look like me, you get harassed. Well, that still happens, but again, it's not as prevalent as let's say 50 years ago. You know what I mean? So of course, a lot of things have changed within that time period. But I do think we have a long way to go. Even though it's not, the percentage is very, very lower than what it was before. We still have a long way to go.
Right. So let me ask you this: do you think that predominantly Black areas should have Black officers, or should it still be a mixture? Especially if they don't understand the culture.
You know what? Okay, so it's kind of hard to say because it depends on the officer, in my opinion, because you can get somebody that look like us and put them in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and they be the biggest buttholes that you could ever encounter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just who they are. And then you can get somebody else, of a different background, and they be the coolest people. So again, it's just all about the person. And I think you won't know until you go through, I guess, trial and error. I think, if you get somebody that's from River Oaks, which is here where I am, and then you put them somewhere like, let's say, Fifth Ward, I don't think that that's just, I think it's too big of a gap, as far as economically. So I
Right.
think, I think it all depends. I think it would be good to kind of test people out, and see exactly where you should. I think it should be, okay, let me say this. I think it should be more effort put into where people patrol, I think it should be more effort put into where people should actually be placed.
Yeah,
So,
that makes a lot of sense because
and
it
they go,
could make race relations better as a
right,
whole.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if I have to say anything, I think, it's just it is kind of hard to say, but if I had to say anything, it would be, give a lot of thought about where you're placing people.
Oh, that's awesome. Your answers rock. I just want
Really?
to let you know. Yes,
Why, thank you. You sure
you're
that's not
quite
something you
welcome.
just say to your guests?
All right. So here's
He
my
didn't hear
next
me.
question.
Okay.
How do you address or navigate situations when you see bias or racism within your department or in your own actions? Now, you just broke it down and said that you don't really experience it much,
Mm-hmm.
but break it down a bit, like how you would handle it if you did see it.
I had an incident where there was a gentleman, older, Caucasian gentleman, and myself. So, and what happened was there was a accident, a car accident, and she looked like me. She was extremely emotional. Life has been rough for her. She was breaking down. She really wasn't listening to commands necessarily. She was just, really distraught because this is the only vehicle I have, and I got to get to school, blah, 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 blah. So she was very, very emotional. And the gentleman that was with me, he didn't really understand that. All he knew was go do what I said. Are you listening? He was just really like more on the command type. And I had to pull it to the side. I said, listen, I sympathize with her, and I tried to calm her down, and I always implement God in everything. So,
Absolutely.
and I tried to really comfort her and give her some words, and she calmed down a great deal, but she was still hysterical. She was still everywhere. And I understand because I've been in a place to where, man, I'm down to my last whatever. What am I going to do next? So I understand what that feels like when you have like, man, I have no hope. What am I going to do? What am I going to do about this? I got this and that coming up. So I understood that maybe he's never experienced anything like that. So he just really
Mhm.
didn't understand it. So I just took the time to kind of talk to her, calm her down, try to give her some solutions, and give her some encouragement. And, and she did a little better. She only wanted to talk to me. So he was like, how they get, man, these racist, blah, blah, blah. So she was on that, da, 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 man, racist and did this, and third. And so he was like, I'm going to let you go talk to her since you've built a rapport with her. It's not about building a rapport with her. It's just about being kind and try to understand what it is people are saying instead of
Understanding.
looking past them. You understand what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And so
Absolutely.
whether she was black or Hispanic or whatever, I just paid attention to her and I acknowledged her pain and what she was going through at the moment, And I think that's why she was more open to talk to me.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things that you said is understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding can help so many things
Oh,
not
yeah,
blow up.
absolutely. Yeah,
And all it takes is a conversation.
right. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
So
Yeah.
if we had more communication between each other, whether
Mm-hmm.
it be police or just people in general,
Right.
you know, things wouldn't
Man,
escalate to the way they do. The
man,
situations wouldn't be so big. There wouldn't be so much killing out here. There wouldn't be so much
listen.
fighting out here.
Exactly. You wouldn't have so many family members not talking to each other. You
Absolutely.
you wouldn't have a lot of marriages break. I mean, communication is absolutely key to everything, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Oh man, this is awesome. Okay. So, how do you balance the emotional demands of the job with your personal life and well-being?
It just reverts back to what I stated before. I don't necessarily let a lot of things bother me. If I feel like things are getting too heavy for me, I release it and give it to who I know can take care of it. And that makes me feel much better. A lot of people don't know that you can do that. You know, a lot
God's
of people don't.
presence definitely shifts the mood.
Absolutely. People
Yeah.
don't know that you can do that, so they're stuck in their own minds, not realizing it's a way you can actually get out of that. You just let it go because I mean, give it to him. I can't take care of it, so what am I hold on to it for? So that's what I do. And when I do that, I honestly, physically, and mentally, I feel better. I ain't got to worry about it. I gave it to the one that can. I know he can do it, so I'm all right.
Right. Just like you heard on that video before we came on, wait on God.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't want to start crying before I get out here. They be like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, officer? Let me. Absolutely, I love that. I love that song.
Yeah, that's my friend Big Leak.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a gospel artist.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I
yeah, I
started
like to
thinking
have
deep.
all types of artists on here, whether it be rock, punk, R&B,
Yeah,
jazz.
yeah,
It's not
My,
just hip hop.
yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
it's a little
Yeah,
bit of everything.
cool. My son
Yeah.
actually, I started out singing when I was younger. Like I went on tour with an artist out here. Like 2 of his tours, I went out. I started out singing. I had my son with me in studios when he was in Pampers. So, and he was always with me during my studio time or whatever it was I was doing.
I heard you
And
singing a bit on TikTok yesterday.
oh really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was still in the room. You thought I wasn't, but
Oh,
I was still in the room.
oh yeah, man. I used to be in a group. I had a chance to meet a lot of different people. So I mean, I always loved to sing. So my son, he actually he raps. He raps too. He's in California now. So I need to send you some of his music.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll interview him. I'm
Cool.
down. I'm
Cool.
down.
Cool.
All you got to do is just hit me up and say, Tig, listen, this is
Yeah.
my son.
Yeah.
Check him out. Interview him for me. And I
Okay.
got you.
I'll send you a link to his Instagram so you can kind of get a feel. You know what? I'll send you some stuff, and I'll send you his Instagram. So, and I'll send him your information too, so he can you can interview him too. That'll be good.
Yeah. So you want to let the people hear your singing voice a little bit? I know.
My sinus is kind of a little bit. Maybe I'll sing a little bit of Erykah Badu just for a second. I think maybe that's what I was singing. I don't know. And I got all this stuff on. I don't know. It's kind of.
I mean, you did pretty well yesterday.
What was
Just
I
give 'em a
singing
little
yesterday?
something. I can't remember the song. I know you were singing something,
I probably
and
was
it was
singing with the
that guy
music.
that was on, but you kicked him out. I think
Really?
it was like a guy from another country. It was
That was
early
me?
on in the day, yesterday.
Look, my mind, I will forget.
You sung for like a few seconds, and then
Oh,
you
really?
went back into telling him, like, hey, listen, I'm not doing that. He kept trying to get you to do something, and you was
Oh,
like, look, I'm not doing that.
yeah. Yeah, we battled again today, man. He is something else. He is something else. I guess I'll sing 2 seconds. 2 seconds of it. Now, if I crack now, I got all kind of excuses of why it ain't gonna sound right.
Hey, listen, it's all good.
Okay, let's see. Bag a lady, you gonna hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you. All you must hold on to is you, is you, is you.
Hey, nice voice.
Thank you so much.
That's what's up.
Appreciate it.
That's what's up.
I appreciate it.
See, and you like to have fun.
Absolutely. Life is all about having fun. Listen, I love to laugh and have fun. Period. That's what I like
This
to
is
do.
exactly why I wanted you on the show, because your personality is awesome.
Thank you so much.
There are times where we do see some officers with the same personality where they like to communicate with people,
Right.
but often it's not really often. It's far few in between.
Right. You got a lot of people that's just, on power trips or, just with this stuff. And let me tell you something personal. Can I tell you a secret? I don't like them either. I don't like them either. I don't like them.
So, how do you support your colleagues who may be struggling with their mental health? Is there a culture of support within your department? And
No,
what
there.
role?
Well, if there is, I haven't been aware, of a specific, policy or procedure that you take when that's going on. So I'm not sure. I just be me. If I ever encounter anything like that, I just be me. And like I said, I always tell them the truth. People may not know or believe in the truth or have no idea about it, but I make sure that I tell them. But again, I haven't had anything extreme to go on to where, I had to be involved with anything like that. But everybody's pretty cool as far as I know. But
Oh, that's awesome.
I would just, everything is spiritual with me, because we are really spiritual beings, just on a life
Yes, we
journey in
are.
this body. So, but
Yes, we are.
that's what I always revert to. It works
That's
for me.
awesome. That's awesome because I'm very spiritual as well.
Hmm.
I'm learning and growing in Christ the
Hmm.
older I get.
Right.
And I wasn't always a person that was growing
Yeah.
in Christ.
Right.
Even though I was raised in a church
Hmm.
at one point in life, I went astray and went a
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah.
And,
It happens.
I was a little weed smoker and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't anymore, but,
Yeah.
at one point in my life, I was just out here living freely, doing what I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens. But
Yeah.
thank God for His grace and mercy.
Yeah, God gave
So
me a second chance at life. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
after surviving that, what I
Yeah.
went through,
Yeah.
I made a decision to be more conscious about what I do. But it took a
Absolutely.
while. It took a
Yeah.
while because it
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight. But
Oh yeah. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
once you
Yeah.
choose him, what you
Yeah.
know, you can't go back to.
Exactly. And that's if you truly know Him. Because some people can,
Absolutely.
you have people that been to church, go to church 80 years and don't know God. They just doing it out of habit. They have zero relationship with Him. It's just what they heard their mama say, or their grandmama say, but they don't know Him. But to truly have a
Absolutely.
relationship with Him is perfect peace, man. I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
life won't get hard, because we do have an enemy that will try you and is going to try
Every
you
day.
as
That's
long
his
as you.
that's his
He's,
goal.
absolutely, and let me tell you something. He is the hardest working being out there. You know what I mean? He works,
Yeah.
man. And look, he do not lack. He don't take lunch breaks. He don't do none of that. So,
Right.
our job is to just continue to keep relationship with Him. That way we can stay in perfect peace.
Amen.
Hmm.
Amen. So I got 3 more questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think that better mental health support for officers could positively impact their interactions with the public, particularly marginalized communities?
You know what? Absolutely. Because in my opinion, you do have some disturbed, not just people, well, not just officers, but people, and
Yeah,
people, as you know, we fall into the category. Officers fall into the category of people. So I think
absolutely.
it's extremely important that we get the help that we need. If you break your leg, you gonna go to the doctor. You're gonna get a cast on it or whatever. So if something is off, you got imbalance in your mind, things that's going on with your mind, go see somebody and find out what's going on with you. That way when you get into a situation, you're not overwhelmed and you're not going off of emotions or how you're feeling, or so I think it's extremely important that we get the mental health that we need in order to manage and function through life. Absolutely. I do agree with that 100%.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay. Here's my next question. And it is okay. The training. What could be done better in the training of police officers of this generation?
Training as it relates to communicating with people, firearm,
Absolutely.
like
Firearms, communication, because the Sonia Massey thing, I'll use as an example,
Mhm.
right? That was a tragedy.
that was a that was a tragedy.
That was a tragedy
Yeah.
because his conversation with this young woman, rest in peace, with
Mm-hmm.
his conversation with her and how he spoke to her, didn't seem as if his training kicked in.
Yeah. But you know what?
So
And I'm gonna say this: a lot of times, it doesn't matter about your training. People's moral compass is just broke. You know, so you could have all the training, and I know I keep saying it's all about the individual, but in all honesty, at the end of the day, it is. You know what I mean? Because it's either you want to do the right thing or you don't. It's either you care or you don't. It's either you see people as less than or you don't. You know what I mean? So you can take all the, because we do have, I mean, we have a lot of classes. We stay in training, we stay in classes, but are you going to accept it and live by it at the end of the day? You know, and a lot of people need a lot of deliverance. And I know I keep talking about spiritual stuff. You don't have to forgive me.
absolutely. Hey, listen,
But a lot of people need to be delivered from a whole lot of stuff because it comes from the inside out. It's going to show, and it did that day that our sister passed away, because that was definitely ridiculous. You know, and
it
that stuff
was.
really, honestly, it angers me. It angers me. It angers me. You know, it really does. So it's all about. I mean, I'm gonna keep on saying it's just really all about the individual. No matter how much training you get. Now, as far as firearms, I do think that it's very important to, you know, keep us in there, keep us in the gun ranges, keep us, doing different exercises, keep us. I think it's important to, and even on our own, go out by ourselves and do some shooting on our own. That way we have more control, because some of them, they don't know shoot.
Yeah,
Some of them, they need a lot of practice. So,
I'm a gun
but
owner myself.
hmm
I have a VR-60 shotgun,
okay.
and oh yeah, that's military type thing. But um, how important is gun safety? And break that down. Like, give the people some tips about gun safety.
I mean, it's not a lot, really. I mean, especially if you have small kids, keep your gun in a safe. Everybody should have a safe that have small kids. You know, period. You should never, ever, ever, ever leave your gun laying around. You know, never point the gun at anything that you are not willing to destroy. Never put your finger on that trigger. Do not point. Listen, never point your gun at anything that you're not willing to destroy,
Mm,
because guns are not toys and they will take you out of here like that, you know.
absolutely.
So, it's extremely important. You know, if you have small kids, again, even if you have bigger kids, keep your guns, especially people who, have no training on how to handle firearms or anything like that. Keep it put up, because accidents can happen all day long at any time. So get a safe, put it in there, and make sure your weapons are secure.
Hey, y'all hear from Officer Simmons, y'all. Last and final question. If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
If it's one thing life has taught moi, what is it? Life has taught me that we don't have very long to be here.
Amen.
Life has taught me that we may not realize it because we're going through our day to day, our minute to minute, and our hour to hour, but it's very short. So love while you can love, forgive while you can forgive. Enjoy every moment that you spend with your loved ones, because I'm going to tell you, one minute, either you're not going to be with them or they're not going to be with you. So
Hey,
life has taught me that is extremely short, and just enjoy it, really, and be mindful of that.
hey, that was awesome. Thank you for coming on the POTS podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
taking the time to kick it with your boy.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Thank you
having
for
me.
your energy on TikTok with the people. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
Absolutely. I
And
sure
listen,
will.
don't be a stranger. You can come on my other show, Stirring the Pot, too, where we stir and we talk about all sorts of things.
Cool. I got you. You'll see me
Yeah,
on there then. You'll see
yeah.
me on there.
So
Cool.
listen, turn your camera off, mute your mic. I'm going to end it out, but don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Folks, y'all heard this wonderful officer. break down some things to y'all about mental health, about how important it is to put God first in everything you do and be for the people. So listen, before I end it, I want to say thank you for everybody that's been tuning in to the show. Thank you over in Africa, UK, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Chile, Ghana, South Africa, London, all over the globe. People are starting to watch as my show is starting to grow, even though it's not super big. Every view counts. I'm almost at 80,000 across all platforms. Thank you so much for watching. And listen, this is the 1-year anniversary as of 2 days ago. So we're going to keep bringing some more heat to you guys. Thank you, and keep it locked in. Your boy signing off. Peace. Tigmatic. Hey, listen.